Today's show is sponsored by CaskCartel.com, your premium spirits marketplace. It's so convenient. Go to CaskCartel.com, get your spirits shipped directly to your door. Yes, some of the allocated stuff is going to cost more, but it is a convenience play. You can sit at home. You don't have to go to a raffle. You don't have to camp out overnight. You can get premium spirits delivered directly to your door. And obviously those daily drinkers, they are going to be more on par with what you pay in the store. So check them out at CaskCartel.com and follow them on Instagram at CaskCartel. They're always doing awesome giveaways for their followers. Today's show is also sponsored by PremiumBarProducts.com, your number one source for laser etched glassware and barware. It is also the place you can go to get the official Dad's Drinking Bourbon Glencairn. What better gift to give someone than customized laser etched glassware? They have all sorts of glasses: the Glen, the Wee Glen, the Tua, the Neat Glass, the Tipsy Rocks glass, the Kenzie Dram. That's the one everybody wants to get. They have all sorts of glasses there, as well as bar tools. Go to PremiumBarProducts.com and check them out. We had some time off, and you were pretty busy in this time off. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on with me, with work and things that you had in your life, but how's your car?
Well, yes, the Honda did manage to kiss a recycling trash can on the street, so to speak.
Were your mirrors not working? What happened?
Oh, man, it was dusky dark or beyond that. And like the recycling cans here in Nashville, I mean, they're literally, charcoal to darker colored with no reflectors, no nothing on them. I'm on like basically a side street or a feeder street, however you want to look at it. No lights, no sidewalks, just street and then a ditch. And I go through a curve, and there's like a big, 2 foot by 2 foot, brick mailbox looking thing. And right past that, rising on the curve, I'm like, what the pow? There went the Honda.
What ended up happening with it? Is it fixed? You're going to have to get a new car?
No, it's fixed now. I just took out the front right fender pretty good. I even laughed because I got home and I was looking at it, and I mean, it was drivable. I even took it to work the next couple of days, but I purposely didn't say anything to the kids until I had it fixed, because I knew the boy would be out there wanting to be all up in it, and it's cold outside. But I get home, dig out the duct tape, bend some fenders around, put some stuff in crammed places, and then 6 pieces of duct tape later, hey, we're good to go.
Is it still covered in duct tape?
No, it's fixed now, but it looked real good for a couple of days. Real good and rednecky. Alabama chrome.
Well, you know what's not janky and held together by duct tape?
Your pants?
This podcast. Let's drink. Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and with me, as always, is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. Happy New Year, Zeke Baker. It's been a minute. It's good to see your face up on the screen. I took a little vacation from Zeke. I needed it. It was a mental health vacation for me to not have Zeke in my life for a week.
I think that was more of a secondary or tertiary reason. But you say what you need to say, bud.
I'm just saying, my life was a lot calmer when I did not have Zeke posting in 5 different chats the same troll on me. It was just nice.
There was multiple trolls. I think the variable here is not me. I'm more of a consistent factor. You chose to add other stresses into your life, and therefore that escalated the additional stress you already had, so that when I piled on my normal daily limits, which has been established, then you're like, oh, it's too much. But I was already there. I was already part of the baseline. You're not blaming this on me.
A real friend would be like, there are new stresses here. Maybe I should pull back a little bit more. And Zeke's like, this is green light. This means go. When Zeke sees extra stress in my life, that is a sign for him to put his foot down to the floor, pedal to the metal. Let's go.
My favorite Homer Simpson lines. I saw my advantage and I took it, because that's what heroes do.
Well, it is good to see you. Did you have a good break? Did you have a good holiday?
It wasn't too bad. Worked, saw the kids and whatnot, a little bit of the fam. Sister and her husband came up for a little bit. We're all enjoying everything we can.
Crazy thing for me, in the midst of everything, basically, long story short, I had some PTO at work things changed at work. I did not have any PTO. So I had some stuff I had to get out. And then Sophia was home from school. And I said to her, do not go into the bourbon room. Do not go into the bourbon room. Do not go into the bourbon room. So what she do while I'm on a call? She goes right into the bourbon room. All of her presents were there. Now, there were some that we had wrapped already, but all of her presents were there unwrapped. She saw so many presents and then came downstairs and goes, Daddy, it's okay. I forgot. I don't know what I got. I forgot. And it's like, no, you remember everything you got.
That's when you return them all. Teach a lesson.
I'm not that much of an ass.
I mean, I didn't say not like get other gifts. You just return all those and find an alternative.
Yeah, that would have been a pain in the ass.
It would have been funny though. Did you really forget? Where's the blah, blah, blah? I saw it. Said you forgot, kid.
It was a whole bunch of coloring things and markers and crayons and colored pencils. And the funny thing is the dogs had been chewing up her markers. So I had to get new markers. She has this art easel downstairs and the dogs were helping themselves to markers for a while.
I bet I can guess which one was eating the markers.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I know you think Waffle is shifty.
I'm telling you, you're still in the grace period. You can return that one. Meanwhile, on my end, I did make sure that the most important part of the, the Christmas gifts for the kids was taken care of. Same number of packages.
Good job.
I know I'm sitting there rapping. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Because I had a couple things I can combine these if I need to. Like, what's the number of packages for each kid? Because they're going to forget over half what they get, but they're going to know who had 4 and who had 5 or whatever, Layla
probably won't remember yet, but Charleston certainly would.
They both keep up with things like that. She's learning quick.
Should we get right into it? I mean, we talked about this other stuff. It's good to catch up, but let's get right into it because I wanted to give you something. I just dropped off. You were at a pick at Blue Note on Monday. I just dropped off a shit ton of samples at your house. And I wanted to give you something that was special and fun and something that I think you might not have had, although you have a lot over at the whiskey house and you get to try a whole bunch of stuff. Have you had the Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye yet?
I have. I've tried it once or twice now.
Of course you have.
Although you labeled this holiday rye. Is that a synonym or no?
It's really barrel proof rye. I don't know why I put holiday rye.
Oh, you had me confused this whole damn time because I was thinking back when Turkey used to do a Christmas rye while they also had rye. And I was like, oh, maybe this is some one-off thing I didn't see. And I was like, but as busy as I've been, I try and keep up decently with any new releases.
No, this is just their limited edition, the special barrel release. It's a barrel proof rye. This annual special release single barrel proof rye celebrates the early craftsmanship of the Jack Daniel distillery, honoring a time where American whiskey was often high in rye content and offered at barrel strength. Bottled in its purest form right from the barrel and uncut and at full proof, it's packed with Jack character with our signature smooth finish. So it is an annual release.
Gotcha. I did get some of the regular, I guess, was it 9094 proof rye? They had some of those in the JD Advent calendar. That was a fun little thing to navigate.
I never got that. I was so late, and after everything that happened, I was like 15 days in, and I was like, I got to go buy that calendar. And then I was like, I'm just going to buy some extra whiskey instead.
It was a fun little thing to go through. Anytime you can find an adult way to enjoy being a kid's always a good thing, I think.
Well, Zeke, I'm very, very, very happy to announce something on tonight's show. Stats are important. And you know what's even more important when you're thinking about stats? You need to know stats if you're going to bet on football. This weekend, the Titans take on the Ravens in the playoffs. They are actually in the playoffs. So everybody in Tennessee is excited. In 2021, we have now partnered with Action 24/7. They are a sports book in Tennessee for people in Tennessee. Actually, if you're listening to this and you are outside of the state of Tennessee, you can't do anything with them. They are a Tennessee-only sports book. But if you use promo code DADS100, that is DADS100, they will double your initial deposit up to $100. So you might as well go in and put $100 in there, and then you're going to have $200 to bet. But go to action247.com. That is the place to go. Action247.com. And we are excited to have them on board, Zeke. Because stats are important, I'm going to talk about them before we go through the stats of every single bottled. Now, these Jack Daniel Barrel Proof Ryes, the special release, they vary in proof. The proof is going to range anywhere from 125 to 140, depending on the barrel. Ours is 130.6 proof. It is 65.3 ABV. This was distilled in January of 2015. It is 70% rye, so it was a 5-year rye, essentially, and comes in at $65.
Well. MSP will be happy to know that stats matter.
Stats do matter. Who do you have? You think the Titans can beat the Ravens this weekend?
I've always said the NFL was way too unpredictable for me. I mean, back in the day, anytime I was in Vegas in the fall, I'd always, throw down some bets in the sports books or whatever. But it's just so erratic. Who knows? Granted, I will throw out the tidbit of in my group of like college pick'em thing I do every year with some buddies. I did come in number 1 this year. Old Zeke got paid.
How much did you get paid?
500 clams, son.
Well, that is good because you owe me 400.
It's also good because in fantasy, I damn near came in dead last.
Let's move on. I'm glad you won. Congrats. What did you think of this whiskey, Zeke Baker?
Nose. I really got a good ramble out of this. At first, I thought it reminded me of green apples and pears. It had somewhat of an organic essence to it that reminded me of honey to a degree. It was somewhere a blend, I thought, between cinnamon, nutmeg, and even a little black pepperish, maybe white pepper. It just had kind of that kick and pep that without even tasting it, you could tell was going to be there. And lastly, as far as a food reference, I like to have those. This is somewhere around a churro or those Taco Bell cinnamon sticks. Like it would definitely be just right up that alley. Moving into the palate, I did not have quite the plethora of notes that I do for the nose. It was sweet at the very initial front end, and then it just built and built some more into a very bold spice. I put down that it grows to more heat than expected and, honestly, more than wanted. It even got prickly by the time it was all said and done. Finish-wise, so the prickly stayed on the tongue for me. No Kentucky hug, nothing in the chest going down that is somewhat synonymous with some ryes. I got more black pepper, heat, alcohol-y, whatever, than I really did flavor out of this, which kind of caught me off guard and surprised me because I remember last year when they did the Tennessee Tasters, those 375s. They had some single barrel cask strength ryes. Each of those I thought was really damn good. And the pours that I've had for some other single barrels of this, I thought was really damn good. But this one, palate wise, it missed the mark for me a little bit.
So it's funny you say all that. I somewhat agree with you, except I didn't get a lot of heat. Like this did not taste like 130 proof to me, which is typical with a lot of the Jack Daniel's barrel proof stuff. The nose to me, it was like if Jack Daniel's rye and Four Roses had a baby. Like the nose moved around a little bit. It's kind of what I thought of like with the Four Roses limited edition small batch. Like the nose is super thick. I expected the taste, especially with 130 proof, like I expected the taste to kind of be the same way. Like nose was bold, full of all sorts of flavors. It was thick, not just thick in having a whole bunch of flavor, but like just it made you think the whiskey had some substance. On the taste, you're right. It was a little bit thin, like almost kind of went away for a minute. It muted to a point. And I'm not going through specific tasting notes like you because I think you kind of covered it. I agree with you. It wasn't all the way gone. It just wasn't as pronounced. The nose is so bold, and then it's kind of like, oh, the taste isn't as bold as the nose. And I didn't get a lot of heat, but I agree with you on the black pepper on the finish. I know this is probably going to surprise you with all that. Like $65 for a limited edition release like this, that, yeah, the taste was a little muted for me, but I still liked it. I think the nose and the taste just didn't match up consistently to what you would think, but I don't think that makes it a bad pour.
I mean, the heat, like I say, it's not an alcohol heat. It's just a rye spice that just built and it just kind of snowballed the more it moved, throughout the palate. Again, I don't think it's a proof issue. It just really was, I guess, the grains, so to speak. Another thing I thought of too, going through this, and like I say, having had at least their a few different expressions of their barrel proof rye. It's kind of like, remember they did the Heritage series last year, those single barrels?
Yeah. I wish I got one of those too.
Well, so like the first one of those I had, I really did not like it at all. And then, I kept seeing more and more people that I, bullshit with saying, oh, we got one here in this market, whatever store, and really good, yada, yada. And so I finally, kind of reopened up and went back into tasting a few other ones that some friends had. I think somehow it was just maybe lack of luck of the draw. But every single barrel is different, and that's what makes them single barrels and fun. But at the same time, if you pull the shortest straw, you might not get the bottle with the most flavor.
I agree with that.
That's really where I kind of rank this, and not to give it a free pass, but obviously you and I, as far as I know, both had, quite a few different times of Jack Rye barrel proof and enjoyed it thoroughly. And the fact this one, missed the mark for me, obviously I'm not going to write it off just off of, one single barrel, not striking my fancy, so to speak.
Yeah. And I just want to let you know that this was bottle number 20-06876. The bottling date was 11/4/2020, almost 5 years, which is typical for Jack, that 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect any more out of that. I mean, the fact that the JDBP bourbon goes that long with rye being usually a quicker turner, I'm almost surprised it's not even just a 4-year product.
I do love that it's a 5-year rye, though. I like that they didn't just kick a rye out at 3 years. I really like what Jack is starting to do with more of their limited edition stuff. I love it. I love their barrel proof. I love the Tennessee tasters that they have coming out. It's really showing the versatility that they're able to kind of do there with some stuff now. I find it really interesting.
I think the thing we're all looking and hoping for the most is some JDBP rye picks.
I think we are all looking forward to that, but I will tell you that I am looking forward to being there 10 days from now on January 16th, your birthday weekend. We are picking another barrel of Jack Daniel's barrel proof with the Wolfpack, John Tanica, and our buddy Benton. It's going to be a good time. We're going to hit up Miss Mary Bobo's. Can't wait for that.
Hey, you can't leave off Bivens.
Oh, yeah. Bivens is going to be there too.
Might even be a Matt Damon sighting. You never know.
You think Matt Damon's going to show up?
I mean, I put a bug in his ear.
Well, that'd be fun.
He does have one of the best Jack collections, bar none.
Not anymore. He hides it in the storage unit. Used to be out for everybody to see.
But I mean, he didn't have it. I mean, I got booze that are not visible.
So on this one, I mean, I'm buying this one anyway. And I think there's different barrels. The fun thing about this one is don't let this review, if we said it was a little bit muted on the taste, there are other barrels out there. Zeke, you said you had them that you really, really like.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, full transparency, I'm not the biggest fan of this. It's pretty clear by my notes on the tasting. I've had other barrels of these and thoroughly enjoyed them. That being said, I'm not going to let one bad seed spoil the whole party, so to speak.
I hear you. Thank you to Franklin Wine and Spirits for making this available so that I could pick it up and let Zeke. You can find us on Facebook at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Twitter at Bourbon Dads, Instagram at Dad's Drinking Bourbon. We're going to try to do a whole bunch of stuff, y'all, because we are back. We have a pretty good backlog. So there might even be some shorter shows that we put out because we need to get that backlog going. So we'll cut down on the banter a little bit. I know y'all love it. We'll cut down on giving each other shit and focus really on the whiskey, because I feel bad for a lot of these people. We need to get some stuff out and get stuff going. So look for some extra shows coming up that are just some quick hitters here and there. 2021, we want to get some more interviews going again. Hopefully we'll get to see each other more, spend more time with all of you. We really appreciate it. Zeke, where else can the folks find us?
Well, there's always the gold standard of Nashville, Tennessee, but as you hinted at, got a big weekend coming up. Quasi my birthday in conjunction with it. We're gonna be picking Bullet, JDBP, Old Forester BP, and having a damn good time.
Can't wait. Cheers.
Ciao.